Humor writer Joel Stein famously wrote a column ridiculing food allergies. It was meant to be funny, but the allergy community certainly didn't take it that way. And soon, Joel got a wake-up call as to why.
I think when I wrote it, we didn't even have a son yet, but less than a year later we did, and he had severe nut allergies.
In May, I interviewed the Time writer just before he gave a true confession speech at the Fair Chicago Spring Luncheon about what he has learned ever since a memorable day 7 years ago.
I was in the backyard with him, and he was kind of sneezing profusely and then got some hives, and I got my wife, and she said that she had fed him some mixed nuts, then blended them up because he'd eaten almonds before and been fine. So we kind of quickly figured out what it was and drove him to the children's hospital, where he was kind of shrieking and his eyes welded shut. And I got him to the door of the children's hospital, and he just threw up everything he'd ever eaten in his entire life, which it had only been 11 months, but it was a lot of food.
But you obviously had some awakening as to, whoops, here's what food allergy really is.
I was aware of the irony even in my panic, yes. He's 8. He just turned 8 a couple weeks ago, and he's an anxious dude. And so we have not had another episode, just by pure luck. It's really cashews and pistachios that are definitely a sentiment to anaphylaxis. Maybe walnuts and pecans, and maybe a host of other nuts, but they don't come up that much, and we've been lucky. So we haven't EpiPenned him yet, but he is. There are days when he wakes up and he's like, I don't want to go to school today because it's just a couple days ago because I'm worried about nuts. So it weighs on him.
So he's hit that point where you start to, as a kid, realize things like the issue of mortality, or is that what's happening with him?
Yeah, that happened really young. So he's just getting more anxious about a lot of things, this being one of them. We went to a new restaurant. It was like a bakery more than anything, and we asked about nuts, and he just wouldn't eat there because it was new. He's like, they don't have it down yet. Like, I don't trust them.
I can't say he's entirely wrong as somebody with food allergies.
Is that right? New
it's
restaurant?
Not a bad instinct to have if you think that they may not know what they're doing.
And that's hard for me as a parent to navigate between dude, chill out. You're going to be okay. Go to school. And I'm glad you're very worried about this because it is really dangerous.
Yeah.
So
it is.
I don't want him to walk around freaked out, but I do want him to walk around freaked out. It's very deeply entrenched in sexism, I think, the roles that men and women get in parenting. Even I work from home and my wife's at home, so she's not working, but on some level we kind of should be sharing, and there are just certain things that she does and cares more about. I, as I will confess in the speech, I always remember the EpiPen, which is horrifying, and she would never forget the EpiPen, and it's not just because she has a purse. It does seem particularly bizarre because if you don't have a food allergy, the thought of food being harmful is confusing and seems so minor, and also people will make jokes about anything, right? Also, I think asking people for accommodations, which is what you're doing at various points, pisses people off, especially about food. There's so many peanut allergies, and no one likes peanuts. That's just not a delicious food. It's just a salt vehicle. And yet when you tell people that you had peanuts for a few hours, they become like the Rosa Parks of peanut eaters. How bad is it going to be for me out there? Are people going to throw food at me? Are people going to jeer? What's it going to be like?
I think this community loves a good penitent.
Oh, well, good.
So,
okay.
We'll be good with that because your contrition will go over very well.
So a lot of mea culpa.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you for not hitting me.